We're now on the banks of the Nile River in a town not far from Adet. And we came here because the community have wanted a bridge across this river for as far back as people can remember.
This bridge they haven't had any crossing for so many years, you know. This request was there during the time of the emperor.
This community has been without a bridge forever. It has never had the ability to join two communities except by forging the river.
This has never been responded. So we were the charity that were willing to consider and work with them and get their dream a reality.
This project it was financed in large part by funds from partners in the Horn of Africa, but the design, the work, the supervision, the vision to see it, all that was the Ethiopian community. And this is a chance for them to get together and see what they can do. They raised among themselves $30,000 by getting approximately $1 from each household. And 2 years ago, using the design of Ethiopian engineers and an average of 200 people a day for 6 months, they built the bridge. They call it the Little Nile because this is the part of the Nile before it hits Lake Tana, but it's the Nile, and it's a big river.
And what's the point of the bridge here? What's it to do?
Well, over there, on the other side, there's about 250,000 people that cannot come to market on this side, and there's about 300,000 people on this side that can't go to markets over there or schools or anything.
So it's kind of a neat project that brought together partners in the Horn of Africa, the community and the local government together.
At this spot right here last year, the villagers recorded 38 drownings and others the names of the people they didn't know, but there was 38 people that they could identify, almost all mothers and children trying to cross. Like right there in that swift spot there, it's about 7 feet deep right now, right where the current is. When you see people coming across, they swim across that current. This is at the lowest point of the year. The water in another 3 months will come right up to the cut bank here. So it'll come up about another 9 feet. And what we want to do is put a span across here to the island, and then another span from the island to the other side.
Families and friends live on both sides of the river, and so for 5-6 months there would be no contact between them. So that would make a huge difference.
And what they're telling us now, that if somebody dies on the other side, the people can't even go to the funeral or the mourning service.
So we asked an Ethiopian engineer to do the design. We also wanted to get a second opinion from Canada, EBA Engineering. We're happy that the first design by the Ethiopian engineer was accepted by our Canadian counterparts. And then we, in order to reduce the cost of the bridge, we use our own construction consultant.
We would run the sand across to dry the channel, to divert all the water over to the other side. Then we would build the abutments across this first section.
The community will be collect out the sand from the river, and they will be filling in the back and make a dam and divert to the other side of the river. And after that, the footbridge will be put in the place.
Yeah.
And the second time after we finish the first one, and we can remove again to do the second footbridge. This one is just it's much comfortable to do it, and also easiest to do for the second one because all the material we can transfer easily without any problems just across the river.
We'll be going and doing this, and that would be a wonderful thing, you know. People could go to the market, to clinic, to visit their families and friends. A huge difference this would make.
Footbridges have immediate effect. Lives are saved as soon as that bridge is completed. This is the staging area for the Abay River Bridge project. The rocks you see have been transported here manually. You can see the little boxes they use to carry the rocks, including the crushed rock. a great distance. They're working on, first of all, this section here, which is 55 meters, joining this bank to the island, and down another 55-meter section on the far side.
And the community was highly motivated at the beginning when we were diverting the water to do the pillars. As many as 2,000 people, villagers, were working there.
You can see that we built a retaining wall to keep the water back in order to facilitate construction. Construction of this river would be impossible during the rainy season in June and July and August. So the crews are working diligently today.
It's a very labor-intensive project. I'm quite impressed by. We only used pumps to dewater, remove the water, and a welding machine. Other than that, it was all done by human beings, and it's not an easy thing to estimate the value of the community's labor.
Tesfa, you're the chief engineer on this project. How deep is the water where you're building the pillar?
To build in the pillar is about 1.7 meters deep now.
1.7 meters, and how
Yeah.
deep is the water during the flood?
During a flood, it's about almost 3 meters height. The construction period, it may have, ups and downs, but finally when everything is complete, once again we come together and celebrate our success.
Okay, so we have just arrived at a bridge opening. It's a two-part bridge that we built across the Little Nile River. So they're celebrating that they now have a bridge that joins these two communities. It is a really big party, and everybody is excited. You can hear the noise, see all the people, you can hear the horns blowing, and we're excited to be part of this.
I couldn't count the number of people. People were kept coming and coming, and nearly everybody carrying food and drinks.
And we let go. Thank you. Okay. 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 ايش المقبة؟ هاي. والله جميل. If you look at the bridge there's people who've been coming for half an hour non-stop. 10 passing a point at any given minute. And what this really tells you is that the community is totally engaged in this project. Not only do they take the benefit from it, but they're coming to celebrate the work they've done for the last year on it. They've waited for this bridge all their lives.
You can tell how poor people are. Everywhere you go, you see people bare feet. But despite all the poverty, they know how to thank people. You saw whatever they have, they brought and fed us, and they gave us a gavi, and you saw the dancing, etc. That's for people who are really poor. Unless they believe in something, it's very hard to kind of thank the way they thanked us.
This is the bridge, and these are the communities that connect. If you were doing the projects that people really, really need, that's the kind of reaction you see at the end of the day. People come out. You can't force people to come. You can't force people to contribute for a celebration unless they really believe in it. That's a good testimony of the work we do. And usually the communities come up with the next project and with their contribution. That's the most interesting part of the work we do. Already in the last week, they've approached us to have a reforestation project on the island and on the banks, just to make sure that in the future erosion never threatens this. So you can see the process, the initial vision, doing things together, realizing what they can do as a community, and then moving forward. That's empowerment, and that's what we like to think our charity's about.
Gilgel Abay ችግር አለ ብለን በራሳችን እዚህ መተን መስራት አለብን ብለን አይደለም የመጣነው ነው የሚለው።
With all of our projects in Ethiopia, and we now have completed 220, we require the community to work. And in this case, the community has worked very hard. Every day for 5.5 months, men from the village came and worked in the river. And you must have the satisfaction now of knowing that your children and your children's children and the children of your children's children will bless you and honor you for the lives you have saved.